You began your day trying to advance your reelection campaign, and now Michigan gets drowned in this story tonight. What is the situation as you know it in terms of the governor's own safety tonight? Has it been changed or increased in any way since these charges were made public?
Well, certainly every effort is being made to protect her safety, and that has actually been, some of that has been ramping up prior to the apprehension of these individuals. You know, it is a time right now where there is increased anxiety. You have folks who are very concerned about the future and dealing with this COVID crisis. And as you were saying earlier here in the program, words matter. And when you hear some elected officials calling out a governor and using words that are inappropriate, that can actually stoke people's anxiety and lead to some really bad behavior. You know, when you have a president saying to Michigan, oh, liberate Michigan from the oppression that is happening right now by the government, you see that can have an impact. And you know what I'm particularly concerned about, and my work in the Homeland Security Committee, is that you're seeing a rise of white supremacist groups, of anti-government groups, anti-Semitic groups. It's a trend that we have been seeing in this country for some time. It's very concerning. We need to collect more data about it, but the groups that have actually been showing this is saying if you look at domestic terrorism and violence internally, 92% of that just this year has been related to domestic terrorism, anti-government groups. You've seen that over the last decade. This is continuing to accelerate. We need to be sure that when we're out there talking, that we're talking about bringing people together, not stoking people's violent tendencies. This is a very dangerous time that we're in right now, and it's up to elected officials to show leadership and bring down the tension that we're seeing in this country.
The governor has responded to Donald Trump's attacks on her tonight on Twitter. The president attacked her on Twitter, and she has said, Mr. President, I thought you weren't interested in a virtual debate, mocking the president's refusal to participate in a virtual debate. And she said, you clearly didn't watch my speech earlier. And she links to her speech, which is so true, Senator. The governor's speech was something that Donald Trump could not even, I think, comprehend. There was no feeling sorry for herself. There was no real even focus on herself and the danger to her family. It was all about trying to help Michigan get through this very difficult year.
Absolutely. And that's what we would hope that we would hear from the President of the United States, is bringing people together in the difficult times that we are in. And when you think about the work of law enforcement, which was extraordinary, and when we're dealing with domestic terrorism, we know that we have to have federal agents working with local officials. We saw that here in Michigan, the FBI working closely with the state police. We should celebrate that. And you would hope that the president would have celebrated that. And instead, he launched some tweets, again, basically attacking the governor and saying that she's doing a terrible job. This is a governor who had a life-threatening, real attack against her. How could someone not step up and say this is something that is completely unacceptable in this country? We have to condemn hatred. We have to condemn bigotry. We have to condemn this insidious rise of domestic terrorism and violence. It's up to the President of the United States to show leadership, to unite this country instead of continuing to create increased tensions and anxieties that can lead to some violent actions. This is completely unacceptable behavior on the part of the president.